Welcome back to another video. My name is Courtney. This is the House of Rest. I really thought that I was about to lay down and veg out and go to bed. What a long day that it has been. But I felt so called to do a reading for the Divine Feminine. I have this song stuck in my head. First, we're gonna check the energy so you can know if this is your reading. So I have this song stuck in my head. Danity Kane might be, what is it? Danity Kane might mean something to you, okay? So the song that I have stuck in my head is Showstopper. Do you remember that song? We in the car, we ride slow, we doing things that the girls don't do. The boys stare, we smile back. All my girls in the rainbow Cadillac. Yeah, I cannot get it out of my head. It's ringing so loud. So that song, and also I keep getting headaches and I don't understand why. I've been kind of examining it for the last few days and I had another headache and I was like, you know what? I don't get what it is this time. And so I feel like you might be also suffering from headaches. So that's another indication that this reading might be for you. But the Divine Feminine is rising. Like even with the Danity Kane song, I'm getting this vibe of, it's just, yeah, like the Divine Feminine, as if it's like a girl group, okay? And your confidence is rising. You're feeling more capable. You're feeling like you can handle the things that have been happening more. But this reading specifically is related to your purpose. So I feel like God has some messages for you. If you've been on that journey of finding your passion and your purpose. Now, I'm picking up on you have an idea of what your purpose is. You've been getting clear on who you're meant to serve. But it still hasn't completely clicked. That's what I'm getting. So if you're resonating with any of those messages, then I feel like this reading is for you, okay? So you've been on this journey for a while where you've been experiencing some heartbreak, some disappointment, some frustration, and it's been going on for a while. You've been telling yourself as if it's not going to last that long. Things will happen and you're like, oh, okay, things are shifting. I'm sure this is going to work out this time. If it's about a job, you've been looking for a job for a really long time and it just still hasn't happened. And you're just like, what's going on? I've got my resume. I'm doing all the things. If this is a relationship, you have maybe gone through separation and maybe you came back together for, I'm getting a trip, as if you went on a trip or something with your person and you're thinking oh, okay, this is starting to build momentum. We're working on things. We're moving forward. And again, it's like things have moved backwards, as if you've taken 2 steps forward and it seems like 5 steps backwards. But what I'm getting is these setbacks have been pivotal. They've been pivotal to your growth, because if you would have gotten that job or if the relationship would have worked out already, you would not be in the space that you're in right now, where you have been receiving so much clarity on your purpose and your mission and who you're here to serve and how you're going to serve. And I think it's feeling a little overwhelming right now because you've been putting so much into this. And I think that it's actually been a very healthy distraction from this frustrating aspect of your life. You having this time, it's like God has sat you down and you have no choice. And so focusing on your purpose has been almost like a distraction, but that I'm getting was kind of like the game or the plot twist. That was the point. That was the point, to get you to where you had nowhere else to go except for to do that. You had nothing else to do. You had put in the applications. It's like you're in no contact with your person. You know what I mean? Like everything has almost felt like it's falling to crap, as if it's like, what in the world is going to happen? And then as soon as you hit like that rock bottom, it's like God has been giving you your daily bread, right? So like the model prayer in the Bible, when the disciples asked, like, how do we pray, Jesus? And then it was the model prayer, our Father in heaven. But the point is give us this day our daily bread. At this point, we're wanting way more than our daily bread. But this is the path. This is the process. You're in alignment. You're in alignment, and God has been giving you just enough, like exactly what you need. Because if you had more than just what you needed right now, you would not be so focused on your purpose. As if maybe you'd have other distractions. Maybe you'd be going out to eat with friends. You'd be doing anything else except for feeling like you have to do this, that you have to do your purpose. Nothing in life is feeling like it's even satisfying you anymore. Nothing's touching it. Everything, your whole life, I'm trying to slow my words down. You have been going through such a process of spiritual awakening, and you've been going through such a spiritual awakening, and it has been everything conspiring to get you to this exact place where it's like, okay, finally you have nowhere else to go, and all you really want to do is for everything that you're doing to be in alignment with God, to be in alignment with your purpose. You don't even want to waste your time with anything else anymore. So that's the energy that I'm picking up on. So I want to ask God, what does the viewer need to know? The viewer needs to know, because you've been doing a really great job. You've been putting so much effort in. You've been so committed, even though things have been hard. You have been so committed. High Priestess, you are walking in your intuition. I feel like God wants you to know, like, keep trusting your intuition, because even though it seems like is it working out? And you're still kind of stressed about a couple things. I believe it's multiple things going on in your life. But even though it's still feeling chaotic, continue to trust your intuition, because it is leading you down the right path. And I'm also getting, with this High Priestess card, the message for you that your communion with Spirit is actually happening. Like I'm picking up on you're doubting if you're even really communing with Spirit, if you're calling on the angels, if you're calling on God, however you relate to source energy. I feel like you have been communing But because of how everything is looking in your life, you've been doubting if you are really doing that, if that's making sense. Okay. What other message do you have for the viewer? The Hierophant. Now, this came out the other day, and so this just confirms the message. The High Priestess and the Hierophant. This is giving me divine counterpart energy. These are the two teachers. So it's not always about love. My readings, I'm constantly picking up on like love and finances and purpose. This reading specifically, it was really clear when I went into prayer before starting to film this, that this is about your purpose. But I'm getting with these two cards coming out right after each other that whatever's going on with you, it does have something to do with a relationship. And if it's not, that's not going to resonate with everyone. So if for you personally, it's not about a relationship, this is about you coming into this union within yourself of your divine feminine and your divine masculine energy. Also, this is showing me, I'm getting multiple messages from these cards that you are meant to be teaching. There's something that you're meant to be teaching. These are spiritual teachers. Okay, so I feel like you're meant to be teaching people something. And I think that you've been doubting your intuition, right? From the first card, you've been doubting your intuition, but trust it. Trust it because you've been getting the messages on what you're here to do. But I think you've been doubting that. And with the Hierophant card, what I'm getting is that there's just more structure that you're needing with your gift. And I think that you've been working on that, but that is the message. Keep trusting your intuition and keep building the structure. And it's coming together. It probably doesn't feel like that right now, but it is coming together. And when it comes to the relationship, if for you this, because again, it's multiple things in your life that's happening. But if you have been in separation with who you feel like is your divine counterpart, I feel like both of you guys are healing and learning and stepping into your purpose when it comes to what you're here to teach. That's really, really big with these two cards. You're meant to be teaching. And if you're in a relationship with someone else, they're also meant to be teaching as well. Very interesting that I was waiting for another card to come out and the 5 and the 6 of Wands came out together. How interesting that it's like in procession or succession of each other, whatever. I can't even find the word, but the fact that these come right after each other. Okay. So what I'm getting from these cards that God wants you to know about your situation is you're walking into this season where you are going to be heavily recognized, okay? The 6 of Wands is a card of recognition, validation, victory, success, being in the public eye, right? Like all of these people kind of around and this person with the wreath, it's like public recognition. And I think that you stepping into this teacher role and stepping into your purpose, getting more clear of who you're here to serve, you are walking into major public recognition. Maybe you've been working on a platform, maybe you've been building a product, but whatever it is that you've been working on, and I saw the moon at the bottom of the deck a minute ago, in secret. That's what I'm getting. And also with these two cards, you and your person, you guys are working on things, but it's like in secret. Like you guys don't know what the other is doing. But the learning, the studying, the discipline, the structure that you've been putting into your purpose, you're walking into major recognition. So it's hilarious. I'm like holding up the 5 of Wands card, but the 6 of Wands is what I was talking about. So the message that I'm getting from that is the fact that this confusion, it's like all these people have all these different wands. It's like, you know, you have different interests, you have different things going on in your life. But even though this can be a card of chaos, the message that I'm getting from Spirit is that you're sorting through this energy, that behind the recognition and success that's coming in, you have been working on and are going to get more clarity, as if like these people are going to work it out. Like you're seeing how much of a mess it is on this card, but the energy that I'm picking up on is that it's being sorted. It's actually being sorted behind the scenes, and this validation and recognition is coming. And I'm picking up on the message that it's actually coming in very quickly with how things are feeling, with how things are looking, with how things are going. I'm picking up on you're starting to feel more calm about the process that you're in, and even accepting that it might take a long time. But I think that that's really good that you have been accepting that, but I don't think it's going to take a long time. I actually think it's going to come in a lot sooner than what you think. But it's helping the energy. It's helping you release the attachment to the outcome by soothing yourself in being okay with however long that this is going to take. That's the message that I'm getting for you with that card. And with the 8 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, it might seem like it's going to take a while because you're deprogramming, you're letting go of so many limiting beliefs. And this is a message that came out earlier as well in the reading that I did. You're releasing a very ingrained pattern of thinking. You're releasing something that has been deeply ingrained. It might even have been ancestral, but you are releasing that. And I just keep getting the messages. At the bottom of the deck is 10 of Swords. You are completing a cycle when it comes to the energy and programming and pattern that you're releasing. And the fact that it's sword energy, it's something to do with your thought process. And you're releasing it. And it has a lot to do with how it's influencing love, money, and purpose. But this is still a purpose reading. So the 7 of Cups, the next message that I'm getting with the 7 of Cups coming out, this is still going through with the sorting. With the 5 of Wands, that was like your passions, like you're sorting through, you're cutting through the confusion of what you want to do, your passions, your purpose, what's driving you. You're getting more clear. You're sorting all of that out. You're getting more organized with that. But then with the 7 of Cups coming out, you're also really sorting through some things emotionally. And this came up also earlier when it came to your person. But now this is pertaining to you and your purpose. So you are an empath. You're very sensitive. And your emotional state is highly linked to your output in life. Okay, so please keep sending the prayers for Blue. I had to pause the video because she's still sick, and it's just, oh my God, it's been like, it's been so challenging. So picking back up where we left off. Your emotional state is highly linked to your output in life. That was what we were talking about. So you are, with the 7 of Cups energy that had come out, you are sorting through your emotions. This time, in this in-between, in this liminal space, in this transition in your chrysalis where you've been transforming, where you've been hidden away by God intentionally so that you could get clear within your purpose and so that you could sort through your emotions. You're sorting through what you want, what you don't want, just clearing out a lot of things. So the message from the 7 of Cups is to continue to work on underlying emotions. For example, I can catastrophize, right? I go through these times where I get so worried and I start to think about like the worst case scenario or something like that. So there's been multiple things going on in my life that is showing me that feeling that comes up when I start to get scared, when I start to get overwhelmed. So in multiple areas, I'm able to recognize that pattern, that emotional pattern, and I can recognize it, I can work on it. Awareness changes everything. So that's the message that I'm getting from the 7 of Cups, is continue to sort through your emotions, because that is highly linked to these other things in your life that you're getting clear on as you're walking into this fulfillment in relationships and love. I had to turn my fan off. So as you're walking into these fulfilling experiences, you're going to have cleared out this emotional baggage. Okay, that's what I'm getting from the 7 of Cups. Okay, what else does the viewer need to know? The Sun and the 7 of Swords. That's a very interesting combination. You have so much joy, and again, the word fulfillment. You have so much fulfillment that you're walking into. I believe also that you've been feeling more grateful even through going through the struggles, the process. You're finding more gratitude, and you're walking into even more abundance and just your ultimate happiness. Not that like things aren't going to be going on in life, right? Because that's just life. That's life on earth. We experience contrast. But the work that you have been doing, you're walking into you're on your highest timeline, but you're walking into all of the promised land. That's what I'm getting, right? So you guys know I reference the Bible all the time. So when you have to go through your wilderness season, like before you enter into the promises that God has had for you, you have to go through this cleansing, this purging. you've experienced a lot of betrayal. The Seven of Swords energy is giving me this betrayal that I don't think that you've fully come to terms with or accepted. So the message that is coming through for you is you know what I'm picking up on the cards now that I'm looking at it even closer? I feel like the person who betrayed you is looking over, like at your happiness. They're looking over at you walking into this happiness and fulfillment. And I think that because you've allowed the universe, because you've allowed God to, like, you didn't take it upon yourself to get vengeance, to do anything. I feel like you just completely walked away from this person. Like, you probably just like went silent. Like, I'm not going to fight with this anymore. I'm exhausted. If you watch this channel and you resonate with my readings, you probably resonate with spiritual exhaustion. You've been exhausted with the situation. So I feel like you're not even dealing with this person. But the message that I'm getting is that they are looking in on your happiness. They see you shining. They see you shining while they still have all of this baggage in their hands that they're trying to even figure out what to do with. I think they actually want to come back to you. But this is about purpose, but this message is coming through very strongly. I feel like they're looking over, like they actually want to be over where you are. But it's like they're already walking on this path with all of these swords. And if this isn't about a relationship for you, then with this energy being behind the Sun card, with this energy being behind your ultimate happiness and fulfillment, I'm getting that, like, your ego is not running the show anymore. And I don't know why that's the message that I'm getting from this, but that's the message that I'm getting from this card. Your ego is no longer running the show. I see. I understand. It's getting more clear. So it's almost like this other side of you is looking over, like you're really walking in this energy now. Like, you're really not going to keep these swords, as if how the ego is so deceptive, you know? And it's like you're not following that anymore. I think you're having some of these, like some of the same thoughts and like patterns are coming up, but because you're deprogramming, you're not walking that way anymore. Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're standing in a whole new energy. And even your shadow is looking over at you like, wow, like that's really the energy that you're walking in now. Ace of Swords, because you just have so much clarity. Like, you've been getting so much more clear in your mind. You've been praying when the thoughts come up and they want to run the show, you're not letting it. It's like, no, I'm about to pray. I'm about to center myself. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to remind myself and affirm what it is that you actually want. You are actually paying more attention to like speaking life and not death. And even though, like, for example, I'm going to give you an example. The fears that I was talking about, like, they're still coming up and I can recognize them, but now I'm not staying in it as long. Like, you're choosing life now. And this process that you've been in, this time that you've been in this liminal space, it's giving you, it's allowed for this to happen. Months ago, you were not in this space. You wanted to be in this space, but you had to go through this process. Any more messages? Final messages. What does my person need to hear? What does the viewer need to hear? Empress with the Ten of Swords. Like, you're completing cycles. You're walking in this whole new energy where you don't chase, you attract. You're magnetizing everything that you need. Physical, like financial abundance, because of the purpose that you're walking towards. Like, you are ending this cycle of mental torment, and your ultimate abundance is, it's here. It's here. Now it's just, I said it the other day, you're sitting in your chair, kicking back with that pink umbrella, another 9 at the bottom of the deck. You are completing cycles. You're forgiving other people. You're forgiving another 10, the 10 of Cups. You're walking into your most ultimate happiness and fulfillment. Like, it's here. People that you've struggled to forgive, you're like, you know what? I may not be all the way there yet, but you're just not giving it as much of your attention. And because of that, you are completing the cycles. You're completing the cycles because the message that I'm getting is that your ancestors, like, especially for this divine feminine energy, this has been a struggle. This has been a struggle, even when it comes to suffering in silence. And you're excavating, you're doing that inner work. Another Ace of Wands, you're doing that inner work. And you're not going to go through this cycle again. And even after you, like, you're clearing it. You're clearing it. Final message from my beautiful divine feminine friend. Yeah. Spirit wants to remind you that you are being protected. You're being shielded. It's the Six of Swords again, and this energy keeps coming out in the readings. Witness protection. Like, you are releasing these patterns of toxic and negative thinking. You're releasing these toxic and negative people. You're releasing this karmic cycle. You're being moved away from it. Everything has been perfectly positioning you to heal the things that have needed to be worked on for you to fully step into service and satisfaction. So that was your reading, and the Chariot is at the bottom of the deck. And because of all of this determination and focus and willpower, and you balancing your light and your dark, balancing your masculine and feminine energy within yourself, you are moving forward at lightning speed, my friend. So I pray that this reading did what it needed to do for you. So I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.